Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Week 1 of Hearthstone Grandmasters Season 1 has now been played, and I have some interesting details about the results. Unfortunately for these results and their relevance, but fortunately for everyone who is playing the game, new nerfs were just announced. I already made a video of those. So all the data here unfortunately is going to get outdated in 2 days. But I still wanted to show you what Hearthstone Grandmasters Week 1 was all about, even though Week 2 is going to be something completely different thanks to the nerfs. So Week 1 we saw tons of bomb warriors, we saw a lot of tempo rogues. We did see a little bit uneven distribution by region though. So Americas was almost all bomb warrior, whereas Asia Pacific was a fairly large number of rogues. And Europe had a surprisingly flat representation. Okay, there were lots of warriors, but there were 5 classes played in Europe, which was more than in the other regions. But were these choices justified? How did the classes perform? Here is the performance of all the archetypes that were brought to the tournament based on their win rates in non-mirror matches. Of course, something like Bomb Warriors played tons and tons of mirror matches, but in every Bomb Warrior mirror, a Bomb Warrior wins and a Bomb Warrior loses. But taking into account the non-mirror matches, the best performing archetype was Cyclone Mage. It especially performed well in Europe, in the more warrior heavy meta, and it was still okay in Asia Pacific, even though there were lots of rogues in Asia Pacific. In Asia Pacific specifically though, Tempo Rogue was actually the best performing archetype, narrowly taking the lead from Cyclone Mage. Overall, Cyclone Mage was the number 1, Control Warrior was number 2, then there was Tempo Rogue, Bomb Warrior, Conjurer Mage. And these hunters, Midrange and Bomb Hunter and the Nomi Priest, they did not quite get where they wanted to. You can also see the differences between the regions. For example, Conjurer Mage did great in Americas, very warrior heavy meta, but in Asia Pacific, in a very rogue heavy meta, Conjurer Mage did not do quite as well. We can take a look at these results through another lens as well, by viewing them so that how did each archetype perform against other archetypes. And this table shows you those results. Obviously the overall results are the same, Cyclone Mage still got that 71% win rate, but now we can see what did it consist of, and it consisted of completely beating Bomb Warriors. And then also doing some good things against midrange hunters and tempo rogues, even though not as dominantly. As an interesting small tidbit, because warrior is considered to be the rogue counter, actually tempo rogue had a 57% win rate against bomb warrior on week 1, as well as a 67% win rate against control warrior. The sample sizes are of course very small at the moment, and as weeks go by we should be getting better sample sizes to get more data. But now we have to start next week with a clean sheet, because there will be the nerfs coming and all of this data will be invalidated, and then we start gathering new data again. On week 1 there were 5 players who swept their series. 5 players went 4-0. And of those 5 players, 4 of them used Bomb Warrior and 1 of them used Cyclone Mage. The first sweeper of the week was Casey. Casey brought Bomb Warrior. He had a primary list, that is a relatively neutral list, does run Archivist Elysiana. Then he has a secondary list that is tailored for the Warrior matchup. It adds a Baleful Banker so that you can bounce your Elysiana, it adds Omega Assemblies for additional value, and it adds Seaforium Bombers for even more bombs. And Casey's tertiary list is designed to beat Mage. Double Big Game Hunter, double Brawl, double Super Collider. Just lots of ways to kill big giants. And this is the team that basically repeats in all of these Bomb Warrior lineups. Seiko, primary list, running Elysiana, this time also including Omega Assemblies in the primary list. Secondary list is the anti-mage list, Big Game Hunters, Brawls, Super Colliders. And tertiary list is the anti-warrior list with Baleful Banker. But this time also a little bit more threats with Cairn Bloodhoof, Gromash, Hellscream and Alexstrasza. So having access to both going for the turn timer and to generate a lot of tempo and try to win that way. Dog, the third sweeper of the week, another 4-0 performer. Likewise, a fairly basic list as the primary list. Then the secondary list is the anti-warrior list, this time also with the Mojo Master Zihi tech. So Mojo Master Zihi at the right time can delay the opponent's Elysiana by multiple turns, and that can put them in a really difficult position. And then Dog's tertiary list, anti-mage list, Big Game Hunters, Brawls, Super Colliders. And the fourth sweeper of the week, Eddie, also going 4-0. Primary list, Bomb Warrior as usual. Secondary list, Anti-Mage list, Omega Devastators, Big Game Hunters, Brawls, Super Collider. And tertiary list, Anti-Warrior list, Baleful Banker, and this time also a little bit more of this tempo, Grommash Hellscream, Alexstrasza. Some more big threats in this one. Finally, the fifth sweeper of the week, 4-0 performance also from Thais with his Cyclone Mage. Cyclone Mage, as usual, as primary, as secondary, anti-mage Cyclone Mage. Mind control tech, so you can steal away some of those giants maybe, a couple of Big Game Hunters, pair of Sandbinders so that you can tutor for your elementals more reliably, and double Sea Giant, so that when the board gets full, you can get more stuff on the board. And Thais' main and secondary list both run 2 copies of Frost Nova. So Frost Nova allows to freeze the board and just go face with your minions. And Thais' tertiary list, anti-warrior list, adding in Archmage Antonidas, Stargazer Luna, pair of Astromancers and a Hexlord Malakras, so you can get new copies of the stuff that you started the game with. Just adding in a lot more threats into this package so that he can overcome the defenses of Warrior. That was Hearthstone Grandmasters Season 1 Week 1. I was hoping to add to these statistics next week, start to get the sample size up, see how the decks really perform. But it's going to be a clean sheet next week, nerfs are coming. We start from scratch, but we will start from scratch, and next week more Hearthstone Grandmasters news. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.